I can tell you that I've never met a child as evil as David.
What went wrong in this guy's head? Why is my brother sitting in jail right now for effectively the rest of his life?
Something's wrong here. I know the guns are wrong, okay? I know that it looks bad.
When I look back at David's life now, David strikes me as just somebody who it was just born into this world angry.
I didn't want this to happen. I didn't plan on this to happen.
When I first told people that there's something seriously wrong with him and he needs help, he's going to end up killing somebody someday, some people thought I was crazy. I feel that I can shed some light on what David's about. That is Dell in his uniform, taken at the Lyons Police Department. From the looks of it, I would say it's probably in the 90s. The first time I met him was the first week of March in 1978. And I was starting to work at the court clerk's office. He was extremely charming, okay? Very personable, had a great smile. And I just found him very attractive. And then as I got to know him, he was a very big romantic. Since we worked in the same building, he would show up with gifts and flowers frequently. After we'd been going out for probably a month, he asked me if I wanted to meet his children. At that time in my life, I was 30 years old. I had recently been divorced, and I had 2 small children. He had been divorced for a couple of years. His wife had left him and the 3 kids with him.
Everyone, come say hello.
We went in and he introduced me to all of them.
This is Deborah.
Hello. Here's a little girl with her hair all, like crazy, like she hadn't combed it in 6 weeks, and smile on her face.
It's very nice to meet you.
Oh. I definitely felt, oh, poor thing, she needs a mother.
And this is my eldest, Tom.
The first time I met Debbie, there was just something different about her. She took a deep interest in myself and my brother and sister. She was funny. And Debbie did not appear to be one of these other women that my dad had dated. Debbie was, and is, very intelligent woman.
And you must be David. It's really nice to meet you.
David was the next one. He's the middle child.
David. Deborah's talking to you.
Hello. The first time I met them, I thought they were very cute, and they were very friendly. And they made a good impression on me. But David Schaefer, he is unlike anybody I've ever met. I've called him a sociopath for many years. Something is wrong with him. We dated probably a year before I moved in. I noticed that David wasn't like the rest of the kids. And the thing that really stuck out to me with David was you couldn't believe anything he said.
When Debbie moved in, now you have to follow rules. You come home from school, you do your chores, you do your homework, you study for an hour. And David did not take to that very well. There were problems.
David, what are you doing?
Watching TV.
If you ask him, did you do your homework? He would say, I did it already. Oh, really? Yeah, okay, bring it to me. Well, I'll do that after dinner. I said, no, you can do it right now.
Go get it. I want to see it.
And he brought it down, and obviously no homework. And he lied to me. He never even touched it.
What is this?
He would stare at me like he didn't even see me there. He's just looking straight through me. And it made me feel uncomfortable.
You told me this was finished.
It's almost an eerie feeling. Sometimes goosebumps, like I have right now, just talking about it. To me, it looked like he was, in his mind, was saying, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. I'm going to do what I want.
Well, you're just going to have to finish it now.
Nah.
And I said, well, you go to your room and finish it. So he walked outside and went out to play.
David, you know the rules.
I said no.
He would do anything but what he was told to do. Period. I had to take into consideration that their mother had left them, and I thought David might be projecting his anger towards his mother who had left onto me. But these other two kids went through the same thing he did, and they're not doing it. It was obviously a sign that something was wrong.
David was going to do what he wanted to do. He wasn't going to let some new woman just stroll in there and start giving orders. He wasn't going to have it.
He was a loner and a troublemaker. It seemed like the only time he was happy is when he was tormenting somebody or lying or manipulating. Take, for instance, we had a pet pig. When he got big enough, we were going to butcher it. One of the kids loved the pig. So we didn't tell her. We told her Mr. Pig went away one night. We sat down and we're having pork chops. When he's thinking something to do to hurt somebody, you could tell in the eyes, and they almost have a sparkle in them. She went to take a bite of this pork chop. He smiled. I thought, oh no. And then he blurted it out before I could say anything.
You want to know what you're really eating?
He just looked at her and laughed and said, you're eating Mr. Piggy. And she said, no, I'm not.
That's not true.
He said, oh, yes, you are. And of course, Dell and I couldn't deny it.
David.
She was maybe 7 years old at the time, and she was devastated that this pig got butchered. She left the table crying. And he thought that was so funny.
What is the matter with you? Why would you say something like that?
He just sat there at the table and just laughed. He absolutely enjoyed that moment. He enjoyed anything that would upset somebody. I would say most of David's happiness came from making anybody miserable that he could. And the older he got and the more this stuff happened, the more serious I thought the problem was. If the other children had misbehaved and they got punished, say take the television away, the phone away, phone privileges, or get grounded, it worked with them, but it did not work with David. We sought the counseling from a pastor. He suggested that maybe a smack on the butt would bring him around. And so he made a little paddle for him and said, this is particularly for David. But David, I don't think anything worked. I don't even think spanking helped.
Of course, I'm sure. I always keep it right here.
And you really think it was David?
If I get extra money, I would hide this money inside a sock. Well, one day I was going to go shopping and I go in, there's no money there.
Everybody, get in here!
When I found out the money was missing and I told Dell, he lined up his kids and asked where the money was.
Does anybody want to tell me what happened to the money in Debbie's drawer? No? No one?
And they all said no, they didn't know anything about it. And then finally somebody broke and it was David. Said he took it.
I think you and I both know who it was.
Yeah, it was me. So what?
David got a beating that day. It didn't even faze him. He was like, oh, well, it didn't matter. He didn't cry. He didn't do anything. It was like a defiant look in his face and just saying, go ahead and beat me. I'm not going to react. And the more it went on, the more intense it got and the more intimidating it got. He just looks right through you. It was shocking to me because I never saw anybody look at me that way before, especially a child.
When David was disciplined, it just seemed like he just got more angry. David was really defiant towards Debbie. I never did understand his level of defiance towards the simplest things.
It was intimidating, but I didn't think of him as a violent person at that time. That came later. Later on, I realized he was a sociopath. I just never imagined it. Now I'm getting emotional. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess he does terrify me. Okay, this picture, right after our wedding. Everybody else just smiling nice, but he has to make a face. That was the way David was. If someone stranger was looking at this picture, they'd just think that David was being a clown. I see orneriness and his defiance. Everybody told him to smile, and he didn't smile. I did not think at that point that he would be like he was, that he would be a killer, or even that he would be as devious and manipulative as he came to be. But after the wedding, I noticed a shift in David's behavior, and especially towards me. After Dell and I got married, David seemed to instigate arguments or fights between us. One day, it was winter, and Dell started screaming at me. And I'm like, what in the world are you upset about?
What the hell's wrong with you?
What are you talking about?
Why would you do that to him? He's just a child.
And then he starts to tell me this story that David told him. He told his dad that I locked him out of the house in freezing weather with no coat and wouldn't let him in. And he was out there for like 3 hours after school. Well, that's not true.
I don't know why he said that to you, but he's lying, Del.
Oh, so now my son's a liar, huh?
I had no idea what he's talking about. No idea. I said there was no way that I locked him out of the house. Dell was angry with me because he believed David. He almost always believed David. He actually got physical with me.
It's freezing out there, Deborah. How dare you?
When Dell would lose his temper with me, he would pull at my hair or grab me or shove me up against the wall and just, yell in my face.
You've had it for him since the second you got here.
That's not true, Del. Let go of me.
Then why did I find him outside shivering in the cold?
I don't know, Del, but I'm telling you, I would never do that.
And David's just sitting there grinning. He wanted me gone. Because I was the intruder. I was the threat.
He loved the chaos between my dad and Debbie. He just seemed to thrive on it. He wanted to hear the fighting. And so I just asked him, I said, why are you doing all this? And his response was, I do it because I can do it.
Why would you tell Dad you did that?
Because I hate her, and I want her gone.
I want Mother back. I don't like this bitch, Debbie. I'm getting her out of here. He was going to make sure one way or another that they weren't going to stay married.
I felt vulnerable every day that David was in my home. I would worry about what is he going to do next? What is the next story going to be? And is Dell going to believe me or is he going to believe him? But I wasn't giving up. I was not giving up. He manipulated his father into fighting with me every chance he got. One day, I'd just gotten home from work, and the next thing I hear, Dell's yelling at me.
Yeah? Is that you?
Yeah, Del, I'm home.
I said, what is your problem? And he said, how dare you? And I said, what are you talking about? And he says, you kicked David down the basement stairs, and you went down and kicked him in the gut and his back while he was on the ground.
David told me what you did to him.
I'm like, unbelievable. I realized David was lying to him immediately. And I told him that. He's lying to you again.
Not this again. You don't really believe him, do you?
Then how do you explain this?
He said, well, how come he's got a bruise? And I said, I have no clue, but I did not touch him. He could have fallen, hit himself, fell down in the playground. Who knows?
Or maybe he did this to himself. Did you ever think about that?
Dell blamed it all on me. And of course, I got slapped around that day. Dell!
You never should have touched him.
David enjoyed the fact that his dad physically abused me. This was about the time that I told Dell there's something seriously wrong with him and he's going to end up killing somebody someday. Dell was a very, very good detective. He was 24 years on the police department. He could see through other people and the criminals, but he could not, for anything, see clearly his own son. One day out of the blue, David's mother called Dell and asked if David could come live with her. It was one of the happiest days of my life. And I know that sounds horrible, but it was just like the hugest relief off my shoulders. Dale told me what was going on with David. That other than that, I did not keep in touch with David. He was gone. That's all I cared about. He was gone.
We were both in our early 20s when we reconnected. I moved out to Pennsylvania in the late 80s, and the first person I called was David. For a while, when he moved with my mom, he was doing well. He was in construction. He did roofing. He built decks. I thought at the time he could absolutely get it together. But there was an occasion back in 1991 where my mother and I were in the kitchen. We got a phone call.
Hello?
It was the police looking for my stepfather.
It's the police. Get on the other phone.
They wanted to know if he owned this particular firearm. And he proceeded to tell us, yeah, David had a loaded gun.
He did what?
He got into a disagreement with somebody. And he went and took one of my stepfather's guns and threatened the guy and was arrested.
No, that's impossible. He knows better than that.
When I heard that David had done all this, my first thought was, are you out of your freaking mind? To take a loaded firearm and go after somebody, that to me is just insane. My father, being a police officer, raised us to use guns properly. It was a huge red flag for me, but I didn't look at it as, any kind of pattern of behavior developing. And I just thought, here's my idiot brother, doing something stupid. He spent a couple months in jail over that incident. I had hoped that David spending some time in jail would put him back on the right path. It did not turn out that way. No, his life ended up a lot worse. This is a picture of my brother, myself, and Debbie's son. It's an open house at the police department where my father worked. It was taken when David was probably 13. I never really looked at it a lot until he was sentenced. When I look at this, I see a happy kid. I don't see somebody who would eventually kill. It's kind of ironic now because here he is in a jail cell, make-believe. Dad would say, if you don't behave, this is where you'll end up. Well, David didn't behave, and that's where he ended up. This is his life for real. He's in the front of this picture smiling, but I don't think he's got that expression any longer. After the gun incident, he had nowhere else to go, so he ends up at my place. He didn't go to work. He didn't look for a job. He mooched money off my dad.
You ever think about finding a job, man?
No need to. Dad just sent me some money.
And David expressed this view to me of wanting my father's belongings.
Once he's gone, I'll get what I'm owed.
On numerous occasions over the years, he would say to me, when Dad dies, I want this firearm and this. I feel Dad owes me a fishing boat. Dad owes me hunting gear because he allowed Debbie to come in and he allowed her to make all these changes in our lives.
You won't be around forever.
And I would kind of be like, what do you mean when he dies? Well, you know, everybody's got to go sometime. And it just would make me wonder, like, why would you even talk about that? You know, who sits there and says, and thinks about when their parents are going to be dead and what they're going to gain from it? He doesn't get the concept of family. He schemed. He plotted. He looked around and saw what my dad had and thought, this should all be mine. How do I get it?
As David got older, he hated me more. Dell and I got divorced. I stayed at the house, and after the divorce, I hoped I never had to deal with David again. But he started calling me in the middle of the night, threatening me. A couple years after Dell and I divorced, I was woken in the middle of the night by a phone call.
Hello?
The voice I heard on the other end was David's, and he said to me that he was going to slit my horse's throats and then come for me next.
David? Is that you?
When I first heard it, I thought, did I hear that right? There was no real emotion to his voice. It was just the same monotone voice that he always used. And the words were frightening. So I hung up. Now, mind you, I'm out in the country, 20 minutes out of town, living by myself, and there's not a house close to me. Terrified, I got up, I got my gun, and the phone rang again. This time he didn't threaten me, he just made funny noises.
Don't call you again, David. This isn't funny.
I didn't know where he was calling from. He could have been calling me from down the street. The heart starts pounding. You know, you're nervous. Actually, I got up and started pacing and looking out windows, you know, making sure all the doors are locked. Must have called 15 times that night. I called the sheriff's department and they said, well, we can't do anything. I did not sleep for a few nights. I was there all alone and it was very scary. I didn't know what he was capable of at that point.
David was arrested for burglary charges. He was breaking into homes in the middle of the night and stealing whatever he could get his hands on. He was sentenced to state prison for 6.5 to 33 years. It's sad, but I also looked at it like maybe this is exactly what he needs to get his stuff together.
I was told by Tom that he was charged and convicted on 13 burglaries and 13 receiving stolen property. I felt very relieved that he was in jail and not going to bother me. I really enjoy the fact when he's incarcerated because I know he's not going to come after me. He's not going to call me. He's not going to drive by my house or anything like that.
He was paroled after 6.5 years, and he went to live with my father. Instead of allowing him to go to a halfway house, my dad stepped in and said, no, come home to Dad. I'm going to take care of you.
When I heard that David was out on parole and he was living in Dell's house, that I was apprehensive about. That meant he was close by. I think Dell's house is maybe half an hour from mine, 40 minutes at the most. I was worried about the fact I know Dell's got guns. I know he's got tons of ammo. And, you know, there's David. I was afraid he was going to carry out his threats. After we were divorced, Dell remarried. It was on Sunday, the 14th of January of 2018. It was about, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. I received a text from the third wife, and all the text said was, he's gone, exclamation point. And I got the worst feeling. The message said, he's gone. And I wrote back, what? She said another one. She said, Dell's dead. He was found dead in bed. He wouldn't wake up. I said, who found him? And she said, David. I was told that David called 911.
911, where's your emergency?
My name is David Schaefer.
What's going on there, sir?
Well, I woke up this morning and my father passed away.
Dell was actually taken to a funeral home. They thought it was natural causes. Everybody thought it was natural death.
I gave him CPR.
Okay, all right, sir.
He's dead.
I just wrote back, David did it. I don't care what anybody says, David killed him. And she says, how do you know that? I said, because I know David, he killed him.
He's there at the house with you?
Yes, he's on the couch.
He's definitely not breathing. You're positive of that, sir?
No, he's not breathing. He's ice cold.
This whole thing was a ruse. Poor me, come help me. Poor me, my dad's dead. Yeah, poor me, I had to find my dad.
What is your father's name?
Albert Schaefer.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. And
I am too.
and how old is your dad?
He was 71.
What a joke he is. I mean, it's pathetic the way he tried to sound like he was sympathetic. But you notice the one thing that caught my eye. How old is your dad? he was 71. In his mind, he's gone. Let's get him out of here. That's the way I hear it when I hear that phone call.
It was a Sunday morning. This is how I found out my dad died.
Hello?
She said, well, I just wanted to check up on you. And it made me raise an eyebrow, and I said, what's going on? She said, you didn't hear. And I said, hear what?
What are you talking about?
And she said, your dad was found dead this morning. His cause of death, as far as I knew, was he died in his sleep of a heart attack. I was devastated. I just started crying. But I really didn't have any reason to suspect that it was anything other than natural causes.
I gave him CPR.
Okay. All right, sir. He's definitely not breathing. You're positive of that, sir?
No, he's not breathing. He's ice cold.
This is my first time hearing it. That doesn't sound right at all. He doesn't sound panicked. He doesn't sound like, there doesn't sound like there's any sense of urgency or anything like that in his voice. It sounds staged. That's what it sounds like. He could be describing a bad meal, is what it sounds like, rather than being somebody who's just found their father deceased. Yeah, I don't buy it at all. When I called David, and I said, hey, it's Tom, how are you? How you holding up?
Hey, just checking in.
And his words to me, and I quote, were, I suppose you're calling to see how much money you're getting. And I said, no, I'm calling to see what the hell happened to our father. And he said, well, I don't know what happened to him. I went and I tried to wake him up. He wouldn't wake up. But anyway, back to the money. The will is in my name. I'm the executor, and it is non-contestable. I was thrown to the floor by that.
David, I don't care about the will.
Why would you come right out and say that to me? Very first thing. So that there raised some suspicions. I know something's not right.
The will stated for everything that he owned to go to David, his beloved son David. Never heard Del say that about David. He may have favored him in some marriage, but never beloved. The other kids weren't even mentioned. He would never leave everything to David because I know how he felt about the other kids. And I know he had a will before that because I had it made with me. So I can understand him getting a new will after we got divorced, but this will was just made a few months before he passed away. Alarm bells went off. I just don't imagine any way that Delbert would have signed this new will without somebody forcing him to do it. Well, the next thing I know, I have a detective on my doorstep. The detective that came to visit me said, I understand you think David did it, and we do too.
What we do know for certain is that Delbert's death was not from natural causes.
David apparently had told the funeral home to cremate the body. And then when the mortician goes to prepare the body, he says, wait a minute. This is not a natural death. This man's been beaten.
According to our ME's report, it was a very violent death.
And that's when he called the coroner. The coroner came out and said, it's a homicide. And then the police got involved.
he had bruises that I have to account for. And with you being the only witness, I have to come to you and say, well, what about this? What about this?
They said he suffered greatly. No less than 6 strikes to the face, 2 strikes to the back of his head. He had 6 broken ribs. He had a fractured sternum.
Maybe he broke his ribs falling down in the snow. I can't tell you this. I can't.
After he beat him, he put him on the couch, and then he waited till he died, which was hours, I guess.
When you saw that your dad was cold, what did you do?
I gave him CPR.
Okay.
And he was unresponsive. He was dead.
When he was finally dead, he went to the ATM and took $500 out of his dad's account and then called the EMTs.
Anybody that's talking about me and my dad will tell you that me and my dad were in a good relationship.
It was like somebody hit me with a brick. I told the detective that came to visit me that please find justice for Dell.
I received a copy of my father's death certificate in the mail. After reading that, I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. And then at the very bottom, it says cause of death and homicide. And I lost it. David was the only one there. The only one. That little son of a bitch killed my dad.
I didn't kill my father. Nobody's ever said you did.
The reason we keep asking these questions is because you were the only one there to be able to tell us the story.
I confronted him over the phone. When I asked him point blank, what did you do to our father? He told me to shut the F up and never bring it up again.
I would not want my father to be dead at all.
Yes.
I don't get anything out of his death. Nothing.
I was greeted with a response of, don't you ever effing talk to me about that again. That is a forbidden subject. Don't you ever call or talk to me again. Now, an innocent man says, I didn't do anything to my dad. I don't know what happened to Dad, Tom. A guilty man says, don't you ever bring that up again. Then I knew he did it. It was clear as day. The little son of a bitch killed my dad.
I just hope you guys don't think I had something to do with his death. It would devastate me to think that I'm going to spend the rest of my life in jail.
I wanted him to feel what my father felt. Yeah, I wanted him to know what it was like. I want to find him, and I want to just choke the life out of him.
Look, I don't know what happened to my dad. I can't tell you how many times. I don't know exactly what happened. It's unfortunate.
I had my keys, and I wanted to get out of the apartment, and my girlfriend said no. Because if you do something to him, you're no better than him. Let the courts handle it. And that's all I could do.
This is David's mugshot from prison. This is after he's convicted and sentenced. When I look at this photo, I see the evil in his eyes. This picture reminds me of his stare, that he stares at me mostly. This time he's not smirking because he's on his way to prison. I don't ever want to see him look at me again, and I don't ever want to see him again.
This is a guy that I'm ashamed to say I'm related to. I see a guy who is sorry that he got caught. And I think he's angry at that. I don't think he's angry about killing my dad. I think he's angry that he's got to have to spend the rest of his life in a jail cell. He still calls what happened to my dad an awful, tragic accident. This guy beat my father to death. That's the cold, awful reality. The amount of time he received for this crime doesn't sit well with me. The sentence that I thought would have been appropriate for him would have been life in prison. If David ever got out of prison, I think Debbie should have her head on a swivel. When it comes to Debbie, I don't think David has ever forgiven her for anything that he perceives was done wrong to him.
I will always be scared of Dave as long as he's alive. I don't know why he's got it out for me. The only thing I can think of is because I tried to bring structure and discipline to his life, and he's never forgiven me for that. You know, I said David would be a killer, but I never dreamed it would be his dad.
I remember this night, he's sitting across the table from me, and I saw it in the video just then, where he was happy and then face changed. Everyone can see his demeanor change. Everybody knew when it was fixing to happen, when he was gonna turn. That's a part of my life that I don't even want to have anymore. I think it would be good for me to throw these tapes away because I've been stuck in limbo in this for so long that this might be something that to help me push out. His mistake was not keeping his secret to himself. He's not who I thought he was when I married him. Things changed with him so fast. Back and forth. I'm sorry. This isn't supposed to happen. I don't know if I can do this. I feel right now like I did when I was living with him. Can I stop? Absolutely. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm back in the house. I feel like I'm still stuck there. I feel afraid, and he's in prison. He's not getting out. And I'm scared. I don't know why. I know I agreed to do this show, and I probably shouldn't have. I grew up in New London, Connecticut. I was in the Navy as a photographer's mate. When I divorced with my first husband, my life was a mess, and it was a decision for him to raise the children, and this was back in 1985. I needed a change. I just wanted to move somewhere where there was no snow. I wanted a fresh start. I moved to Georgia in 1994, and I met Craig in August of 98. I was at a friend of mine's house. We were partying that night, drinking some beers and singing karaoke and just being stupid. And when I woke up the next morning, there was this guy sitting on her couch, and I was like, ooh, he's kind of good looking.
I don't think I met you. I'm Craig.
Hi, I'm Robin.
When I looked at him, it was instant chemistry. I just immediately thought, that's the one. I had the butterflies and the constant grin. He had brought it up that, maybe we can go to dinner sometime.
Since we didn't get to talk last night, would you want to grab a bite?
Yeah.
I saw that he was interested, and I knew I was. And then he was very nice, and we talked. He was goofy. He was funny. You wouldn't believe that he was an angry person. You wouldn't believe that he was an abusive person. You wouldn't believe that this is a person that could kill somebody. He had us all fooled. almost every night. We all used to go after work. We'd go to our friend's house and we'd shoot darts, drink beer, play cards. His friends were like, we never saw Craig like this. He just seems so happy. You're the best thing for him. I thought, this is it. Yay, finally, I got my life the way I want it to be. But there was this one friend and his name was Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?
Hey, what's up?
He's like, you need to just calm down with him. You need to back off a little bit because he's not what you think. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's bad news. Just be careful.
What do you mean bad news?
My thought was, bad news? What? He cheated on his ex-girlfriend? He drinks too much beer and falls asleep in the table?
Let's just say he has anger issues.
He's like, I know that everybody thinks that you guys are great together, and maybe you are. He said, but he is evil. He will hit you. He will scream at you. He's just angry. That was a warning to run. But when Jack told me that, I honestly dismissed it. I haven't seen that. I thought that Jack was interested in me, and that's why he wanted me to get away from Craig. That's why I dismissed it. I really thought that he had ulterior motives,
I don't know what he was like before, but he's not like that with me.
At that point, I did not see a bad part of Craig at all. I did not see any indication whatsoever that things would go the way that they did. When we moved in together, it wasn't long before I started to see a different side of Craig. I started seeing the little bit here and there of the anger pop out. Our first Christmas Eve, a couple of months into the relationship, he came home angry for no reason that I know of. I could tell he was drunk. He was slurring his words and kind of wobbling around.
Oh, look who decided to show up.
I'm hungry. Fix me something.
He said, woman, get in that kitchen and make me something to eat. I thought he was joking.
Are you kidding me?
I hadn't seen the mean part of him yet, so I wasn't afraid to stand up to him. So I confronted him about him acting like he is. What is wrong with you, kind of thing.
If you want something to eat, go make it yourself.
His face just changed. He went from this to this. That was scary. I mean, it was just like this face and then this face. And that's when he grabbed me by my wrist and tossed me into the wall. I was in shock at first.
Off of me!
I had never seen him like that before. Never. I said to myself, I'm not going to be abused.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Stop it. I'm sorry.
And of course, the promises. Oh, I was just drunk and I don't believe I did that. I should have left. I should have ran out then.
Please. Let's have a nice Christmas.
But I desperately wanted things to work because I thought I knew him. I thought I knew that he was my soulmate. And I thought that it was just one time. It never happened before. It actually didn't happen for a long time after that. Like years after that, it never happened again. But in my soul, looking back, I think Craig always had that in him, the evil, and almost enjoyed making people hurt physically or emotionally. And I think he learned how to hide that very well. But then when that mask would slip, it would be this uncaring, almost relish in hurting people, just liked it. I've always been a worrier, always worried about, we gotta make sure the bills are paid, gotta make sure that we have enough money. One day we were talking about money and I was a little worried.
I don't think we can afford to go away next weekend. Look at this credit card bill.
Craig said not to worry. He's got a lot of money coming in.
Relax. In a couple months, all our money problems are gonna be taken care of.
What do you mean?
And he said, years ago, me and my cousin Terry, we got life insurance policies on each other. And now that he's missing, as soon as he's declared dead, I come into all that money. So don't worry too much.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
I was asking him, he disappeared? Really? He's like, yeah, they found his car in the Okefenokee swamp.
Wait, your cousin is missing? What happened?
The car was running, I guess, all night or all day, whatever, before they found it. It was out of gas. The door was open. He had specifics about this car. And that kind of struck me as a little odd, but then I thought, well, maybe it was all in the paper. I've never heard of Terry before. I'm from Connecticut, and I moved down here in 94. And this whole thing happened in 91.
So, I'm confused. Why would you get the insurance money?
I was asking him, I was like, well, what do you mean insurance policy? He's on your cousin?
We took out policies on each other, just in case.
Most people only have insurance policies for their spouse. You don't do it for your friend, your buddy, your cousin. But they were even closer than brothers, is what he used to tell me. Terry was his best friend. He was his brother. They were never apart, always together from the time that they were little until Terry disappeared. Now that I think about it, it is very strange that he waited for Terry to be declared dead instead of waiting for Terry to see if he'll come home.
Maybe he started over somewhere, or...
I thought Terry just ran away. Some people do. I did. I ran away from Connecticut. I did it. You know, maybe he had to do the same thing. Fresh start.
I doubt it.
But I never, ever, ever, ever heard Craig talk about his cousin maybe being found alive. Ever.
My God. It's horrible.
Yeah.
He just told me that Terry was gone and they never found him. Matter of fact, he said they never found his body. Now that I think about it, that's pretty weird too.
But it could wind up being something good for us.
Why would Craig say they never found his body if he didn't know Terry was dead? This was our wedding day. After I killed him. And you're thinking, yeah, okay.
Oh, please.
That's why I dumped him. In the swamp, just like that.
And I was just like, you're kidding, right? He's like, nope, dead serious. I killed him and put him in the swamp because he was sleeping with my wife.
You're telling me you killed your cousin?
It was a very happy day. We got married May 13th, 2000. That was my fairy tale. Everything was just perfect. This was the beginning of what I thought was going to be the perfect life that I always wanted. That, someone who always would care about me, and we would protect each other, and it's almost sad to look at this.
Just like Terry.
I'm like, what? What do you mean Terry's in the swamp? Yeah, I put him in there. Get out of here. He's like, no, I'm serious. I put him in the swamp. When did you put him in the swamp? He said, I put him in trash bags. And about 4 or 5 years into our marriage, he started using Terry's disappearance as a threat to me. I remember clear one night that he was out partying. I didn't feel like going. I just wanted to stay home. He just came in and he started spurting at me all the horrible things I am and all the awful things I've ever done.
You've been sitting here all night, you lazy cow?
Just giving me this barrage of hate, just awful things that I'm ugly and disgusting and stupid and I never do anything. He says that I'm worthless and there ain't nothing good about me. I just sat there in shock. I didn't know what to say. And then he just started telling me that he was going to put me in the swamp like Terry. He was going to make me gator bait. I'll kill you just like I did Terry. I'll just kill you, chop you up, put you in the swamp, and won't nobody ever find your body. He told me that he got away with murder for 20 years because the fairy tale ended when I realized that this wasn't the man I thought it was. Craig would bring up his cousin. The story would change just a little bit from I put him in the swamp to I cut him up and put him in the swamp to it might be easy to do to anybody. Oh my God, I was scared to death. I wanted to get out of the whole situation, but no money. Where was I going to go? Family's in Connecticut and really not a very close family, so I couldn't go back there. If I were to leave him, he would find me. If I were to ever call the police because of the way he treated me, he would get out of jail and kill me. Okay, so just live with it, deal with it, and hope for the best that it's not true.
Yep. Just like that.
And I just believed that that was just one of his silly jokes. I was waiting for the punchline. And I let it go because he's just saying it to get my reaction, just to see if I would go, oh.
Shut up. I'm not falling for that.
I didn't believe it. See in my head when I remember. God, I did not expect that reaction out of me right there. It got me shaking. Holy. I'm flabbergasted at my reaction to that picture. I thought I was way over that. Please don't make me look at that again. The sudden fear when I saw that face, it hasn't gone away yet. That put me right back into that house, oh, scared, afraid. That's the person I saw all the time, and that's the person Not a problem. He's done it before. He'll do it again. The look in Craig's eye was pure hatred. It was very scary, and it made me believe every word he was saying. There was no doubt that was the truth. He was telling me the truth. And if it was true, and if he did it once, then what? If it was that easy for him to do to his cousin that he loved so much, because that's a person I saw every day. I'm scared of him. Now, even I felt like he believed I knew too much. And I never doubted that he was going to kill me. It was just a matter of how and when. As time progressed, my imagination just got bigger and bigger as I believed the story more and more. Once we moved into the other place, we were in the bedroom, unpacking stuff in our new place, putting things in the closet.
Hey, what's this? I haven't seen this before.
Craig had this metal box. It was like... He asked me one day if I would go shopping and buy one of those, those big picture frames that you put different pictures in one frame. I thought he was going to put family pictures, maybe my family and his family all combined in one frame. I thought that was pretty nice, So I did. I brought home this big, huge frame. And he started putting in the newspaper clippings of Terry. Ugh. That is the person behind the mask. I can't look at that. And he'd hang it on the wall in the living room. I'd take it down, and he'd put it up. I'd take it down, he'd put it up. It was a game for him. Look what I did and got away with it. I knew the truth, but what was I supposed to do? Could I run to the police and say, well, they couldn't prove it for 20 years. What am I going to do? If I did not do exactly what he wanted, I was gator bait. He would tell me, I will do to you what I did to Terry. You are gator bait. So just shut up, deal with it, and go on tomorrow like nothing happened. But I did feel like I knew too much. Sometimes Terry's disappearance, now and then. And Craig had this habit that he would get you to believe the stupidest things, the silliest things. He would get you worked up and to believe something, and you believe in it, and then he'd go, just kidding. You're so stupid. I can't believe you believed that. And one night, we were watching this movie about these army guys training in the bayou, and he had said, that's where Terry's at.
Hey, what do you know?
I gave Craig a gun cabinet for his birthday one year that had keys. It was one of those glass fronts on the top, and then on the bottom, it was like only one that could have did it. I asked him about that. I was like, they knew that it was you? And he's like, yeah, but they couldn't prove it because there's no body. I believe he was proud of that collage. He told me, don't you ever touch this again. You know what will happen to you. And I knew what he was referring to. He was referring to putting me in the swamp.
Unless you want to go see Terry, because that can be arranged.
At first, I thought there was maybe just like Playboy magazines in that box he didn't want me to see. But the box itself was heavy. About how Terry's car was found, how they suspected Craig, pictures of Terry's face and stuff in this collage. And I'm like, that's morbid. When I read that he was the suspect, that they suspected that he was the only. So there's got to be something in that box that he's hiding. That if anybody else found it, they would know beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was involved with Terry's disappearance. I was so curious. I wanted to know what was in it, but I was too afraid to look. Even if he wasn't home and didn't know that I got into it, I still didn't do it because I knew that maybe he said it a certain way, that if I moved it, he would see. I was just too afraid, and I never did know what was in that box. I had to be meticulous and put each hinge right back where it was. I just made sure everything was perfect. If Craig saw me in that gun cabinet, I would have been dead. I know he wanted me dead. I know that for a fact. I have no doubt. He told me many times before. And so that kind of made me a little nervous. That scared me because I thought, what is he doing with this gun that I don't know about? And it was a little gun. It was only like this big. Behind the glass, there was two guns. There was a .22 rifle and a shotgun. You could see those guns. There was no reason to hide those guns. Why was he hiding this gun? It was hidden from me for a reason. And I thought that that was the gun that he was going to kill me with because it was small enough to hide, easy to get rid of, I imagine. Damn it. I was like, really? I want to know what's in it. Open it up. I want to see what's in it. I started asking questions about that box. That's when everything changed.
I seriously can't know what's in here.
I said it's none of your business.
He grabbed it out of my hands. Just like a little army green metal army box. It was locked.
Sounds kind of heavy.
I was like shaking it. I said, what's in this? He said, that's mine. It's my private things. You just leave it alone. I'm nosy. I'm very nosy. I want to know. I want to know, what's that? What's that? Where's that? I'm like a little child. What's this? What's that? And a locked little compartment. And he took those keys and never allowed me into that gun cabinet. And I didn't think too much of it until our marriage started getting worse and worse and worse. And I started getting more afraid of what was going to happen. And it kind of made me determined that I wanted to know what he's hiding in that gun cabinet. Well, I was home alone a lot, too, when he was at work, so I found a way in. I unscrewed the hinges. took that door off. I can't say that there was physically no way for me to leave him, but he had broken me down. I was so broken that I didn't care anymore. One night, he went out. He came home in a rage. There was a little black gun in there that I don't know where that came from. I'd never seen this gun. I was watching the TV. He walked in front of me, went down under that gun cabinet, took the gun out, didn't say a word, didn't even look at me. I expected him to just turn around and shoot me, but he didn't even look at me. He didn't even acknowledge my existence. Went out the front, on to the next. I watched him do it in the kitchen, down the hallway, watched him go into the living room, the lights went off. I watched him go into the bathroom and the light went off. He was very methodical. This was planned. I could hear my heartbeat. I could feel my heartbeat in my ears. Just it got faster. And I thought, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this? And weird thing is right about then, what happened to me, I won't be like Terry. They won't have to wonder if Craig did it. That way he won't get away with at least this murder. Ignored it, it would go away. I honestly think that that night, either he was going to shoot me and lost his nerve and decided to go do that, shoot it in the air, or maybe it was just to let me know that it's coming. When he left, I went out there and I looked on the ground and I saw the casings there. Don't you ever touch that box again. That is my private property. You don't touch it. I almost felt like he was going to take it and hit me with it, honestly. And it scared me. He had his .22 in his hand and he was walking around the house, unscrewing the light bulbs. All the way out, not anger smashing them, he would just take them out, put them on the ground or on the table, wherever he was. I knew he was going to kill me. The way he looked at me that last time, he was going to kill me. It was going to happen very soon. One night when he was, especially where he had shot, and I picked them all up, I gave a couple to a friend, and I said, if anything happens to me, this is the gun they came out of. I just figured if somebody had these casings, at least somebody will know what crazy. I was laying in the bed, and I heard Craig come in drunk, and I just pretended I was asleep. And I heard him in the gun cabinet. And when I heard him go in the living room in the gun cabinet, I sat up and I just watched him. I believe you. That Friday night, when I got the restraining order, I had talked to Tina on the phone, and she said, good, I'm glad you got the restraining order. I'll be over in a little while. Well, she never came, and I thought, oh, she must have got sidetracked or whatever. And then the next day, I got a phone call from one of Tina's other friends.
Hello?
And he said, you better go. And I got in her car and we went to her house. She saved me because I was going to die that night. I have no doubt. She had no doubt. We both knew. Light bulbs, he's got a gun. I'm going to die.
What do I do?
And she said, hang up the phone and get out of that house. As soon as I got off the phone with her, I just looked around and I didn't see him. He went out the front door and he went to cut the phone line. When he went out the front door, I ran out the back door and around and down the street and waited for Tina to come pick me up. Tina was having marital problems, so she moved down here because she had nowhere else to go. Tina, my daughter, called me. My first thought was, I have to shut this phone up. I have to shut this phone up. If I do not shut this phone up, he's coming this way. Tina. She said, I just had a weird feeling I needed to call you. I said, he's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me tonight. He's unscrewing. This is not an exaggeration. Craig said, did you find a body yet? Just like that. Just arrogant, like, can't touch me. That is not the actions of an innocent person. And still the judge didn't believe me.
I don't see any prior police reports, nor do I see evidence of a threat here.
He said, well, I've thought about it and I don't believe a word you say. Door, shot it in the air like 3 or 4 times. Walked back in, put the gun back in the gun cabinet, and left. It scared me. I was just sitting on the couch looking at the TV, hoping that maybe if I go down to Tina's boyfriend's house, because there's police everywhere and something's going on.
I'll be right there.
Went down there and I saw all the police. And I thought, what the heck? There's police tape everywhere. And I walked up and the woman said, our crime scene, you can't go in there. And I thought, crime scene? Then it hit me. I never saw her. They never let me see her. They immediately took her directly to Atlanta. So we're going to err on the side of caution and give you the restraining order. But you have 2 weeks to get out of that house. 2 weeks. Craig took it that the judge was on his side and he could be just showing me like, look at this, girl. I can say this to this judge in a public courtroom and they still don't autopsy. Tina died of a massive drug overdose. When I did realize that it was drug overdose, I knew physically Craig wasn't involved as far as I didn't picture him standing over her, killing her. But she died of the same drugs that he did. And I do know that she got the drugs from him. The timing was ridiculous. Restraining order, she's dead. That doesn't just happen out of nowhere. Friday, the restraining order. Saturday, we found Tina. The next Sunday, I had gone right to church. His father was a deacon in that church. I was scared to death to go back to that house, and I knew I needed to get a restraining order on him. When we went into the hearing, Craig had to be there, and the judge said, why are you afraid of him? Why are you so scared he's going to kill you? And I said, because he killed his cousin.
He's killed before.
The judge says, well, how do you know that? Because he told me. He told me he killed his cousin.
How about it, Mr. Thrift? You a murderer.
And I went and talked to his dad and his wife and told them what happened with Tina.
I don't know if you heard. Tina overdosed.
Does Craig know this?
No, I haven't told him.
And his dad had never. The first realization that he was watching me, I started seeing Craig drive slowly past my house back and forth every now and then, and I was afraid of what he had planned. I was afraid to go out and check my mail. I was afraid to go. Called right there, right where I was standing there. He called Craig and said, I just want you to know that Robin's daughter, Tina, died last night. And he said, good, bitch deserved it. I could hear it over the phone. That was his exact words. What kind of human being is that cold to say that?
Why don't you take a few moments?
Thank you.
Sometimes when I think about that conversation, sometimes my brain goes to that he said, there is a big part of me that believes that Craig gave Tina something that he knew that she couldn't come back from. For what reason, I can only speculate. He could have wanted her to go away because she knew too much. I'm not going to sit here and say Craig did this on purpose and killed my daughter, because I don't know. But my brain goes there. I will never forgive myself for this situation. She deserves it, or she deserved it. If he said deserves with an S, he meant that I deserve it. I deserve to have my daughter dead. If he said deserved with a D, then he meant that Tina deserved to be dead. Are you Robin? I said, yes. She said, are you Tina's mother? I said, yes. She said, well, she's deceased. I was like, well, just let me in there. I can help her. Just let me go in there. I know it sounds crazy, but when you're in that minute, your brain doesn't want to accept it. I heard the word, but my brain didn't accept it. So I thought, I'll just fix it. I'll just go fix it. I can help her. Let me go take care of her. The only thing she said was, I took pictures of him driving by in his truck with that little black gun, went directly to the judge. The first thing the judge says, well, you can't prove that that's his truck or him in the truck. What do you mean? I have a picture that's showing you right here, but you can't prove it. I don't know what else to do. What else can I do? There was no peace for me, and I didn't know what to do about it. Look what he got away with before for 20 damn years. And I didn't know how to defend myself. I don't know how to fight. So all I could do was hope that someone would come and help me. Not even a year later, maybe about 4 or 5 months, I was contacted by the detective from Ware County. That's when they started questioning me about what I knew about what Craig had done with Terry.
I don't understand what's changed after all this time.
I said, what would make you come now? Talk to me. I say this to everyone. His mistake was not keeping his secret to himself. Now it's 10 years since then. To this day, I feel if he ever gets out of prison, he's coming. I go online every now and then and look up the offender search just to make sure he's still in there, because I do worry that he will get paroled one day. He was actually eligible for parole in May of 2019. And I don't know how far he will. She said, well, we are under the understanding that in open court, you accused him of killing Terry. My stomach dropped right there. At the time when I said that Craig had killed his cousin, the judge asked me a question. I gave him the honest answer. I didn't think that it was going any further. And someone had told someone who told someone, and it got back to the detectives in Ware County.
You're saying he did this?
Yes.
They asked me if Craig said anything to me ever about admitting it, if I did what he said, how he said it. They asked me all kinds of stuff.
He always says that he's gonna put me in the swamp just like Terry.
I told the truth, and that's all I could do. It was time for all this to stop. But all the people in our group were contacted by law enforcement, and they all started testifying. And I could not believe everyone had the exact same story of what he said to us about how, where, when with Terry's murder. He would talk about the same, and there's a little bit of more work to do to try to forgive myself for certain things, but I think this is a real good thing for me. This is gonna allow me to have a life and get out of all this. Thanks. I'm sorry. Go to try to find me because all he's got right now is time to be angry. And when he only had a little bit of time to be angry, it was bad enough. But now here's years of him being angry. If he ever gets out, I'm dead. I have to work. I was afraid to go home. I was afraid to not be home. I was afraid to go to the store. Because I didn't know if he was behind me, if he was ahead of me, if he's over there behind that bush. He's capable of anything. I had my friends come stay with me at that point. She would watch and I would watch, and I would sleep and she would sleep.
My favorite uncle was visiting our family. He was at my parents' home.
Hello?
And my mother called to tell me that he was here and wanted to see me. And I was excited.
It was time for Terry's family to stop wondering. I didn't know that so many people were testifying. I thought I was basically the only one.
Excited about that.
Oh, yeah? How long is he here for?
They're going to come over here and visit for a little bit. I made all these arrangements.
Maybe you guys could stop by today. We're not up to much anyway. Yeah? I'd love that. Well, I'll see you soon then.
Guns in my house. I know exactly where they are. I know exactly how to use them, and I am ready, just in case. When I think of everything I went through, I would never have believed that I married someone like that. The truth set me free from that situation, but it's hard to live now with that knowing. Telling this story made me realize that I have been blaming myself for a whole lot of things that weren't my fault.
Who's that?
And then when I told Reggie about it, and he's like, well, they're not coming in here.
I don't want them here right now.
I'm like, what do you mean they're not coming in here? If I do get to him, will it be enough to end his life? 2 seconds, that's all I need is 2 seconds. And I'm willing to go to jail for that because I have nothing to live for. I hope you rot in hell. When we first met and became involved with each other, he was a little bit older than me. I met him in school. He was very gentle. This is the first time I've seen this picture. This is the man who fathered my children. You meet a guy, you fall in love with him, you know, he could tell you the sky is pink and you go, yeah, it is, and you know it's blue. But you go along with it because you're in love with this guy. And you feel like he wouldn't, when they get here, just don't answer the door. And I said, why not? He said, because I don't want anybody in here. And I'm like, okay. He didn't say it mean. He didn't say it, you know, demanding or anything. It was just a normal conversation.
I really don't feel like entertaining anybody right now.
I didn't know where that was coming from. Maybe he just didn't feel like, you know, having no company here. We had our second child, and we were still getting along really, really well. At least, very, very, very kind. and that very attentive.
I like your smile.
He just was so, I guess the word is smooth. I felt the way that he treated me was something that in my mind, I thought we were. The only thing that I, had a little bit of concern with was why are you always trying to keep people away from me? He was a loner, and I kind of respected that, but then he started not wanting to do too much. He stopped going out of the house.
Can't catch me. Now you can't catch me.
He didn't want to be around my family. He would sit on the porch and he would watch the kids play. And then eventually he stopped even sitting on the porch and he just stayed in the house. Do anything to put you in any harm's way. Whatever I did feel for this man, it doesn't exist anymore. That died a long time ago. The whole time I was looking at him, I was just thinking, can I reach him? Can I get to him before they get to me? How much damage can I do? I had no way to warn my mother because there were no cell phones back then. So I couldn't call and divert them.
Reggie, can I get the door?
They came and they knocked and they knocked and they knocked, and I wasn't allowed to open the door and let them in.
Reggie,
Don't. Please.
Please.
It felt like an eternity to me that my mother and my uncle were standing on the porch knocking on the door to get in, knowing that I should be there.
Reggie, I need to answer the door. This is very strange.
And I wasn't opening the door. I was just standing there and just hoping that I hadn't experienced with anybody else. Everything just fell into place.
I've been having such a good time with you. I have something to tell you.
I got pregnant, and when I found out he was excited about it,
Yeah?
that was his baby, and what he wanted to do was to marry me, so that's what we did. Eventually that they would stop knocking and just go home. I was very young and very naive to a lot of things. I was a little too embarrassed to even go over there, even later on, and if anybody were to come around or come to visit, whatever, I just go to her house. It just made it easier. If he didn't want to go, that's fine, but we're going. You don't want to participate in anything, that's fine, we're going. So it never happened again. I didn't perceive that as being strange. He just was a recluse. He just got to the point that he didn't want it. The day that I got married, it was November 21st, 1964. It was surreal. I was happy. I was finally Mrs. Reginald Brooks. And I just figured we'd be together for the rest of our lives, like you're supposed to, till death us do part. And I believe that. He wouldn't go anywhere. He wouldn't go to the store with me. He wouldn't go to anybody's home with me. If we were invited anywhere, he didn't want to go.
Reg, you want to come into town with us? We're going to go to the movies.
Just gonna hang out here for a little bit.
He didn't want to be around his family before he would have died from it rupturing. And if I had not made him get in that car, he would have died. All I had to do was wait a half an hour.
Okay, don't you play stupid.
and accused me of putting stuff in his food.
What are you talking about?
He said, "What'd you put in the food?" And I said, "Seasoning, what I always do."
Are you okay?
I don't know why you would think I would do something like that. Where would I even get? I'm sitting there and I'm looking at him and I tell him, "I will kill you."
Got it?
And if you think I'm kidding, try me. And I ate it.
See? Nothing wrong with me.
I don't know why you're feeling this way. I don't know why you're sick. Has nothing to do with your food.
Fine.
I'm like, okay, I don't have a problem eating it. So I did, and he stood there while I ate it. He was becoming more and more paranoid being at work. He felt that his co-workers were out to get him or do him harm and was trying to poison him, and at that point, quit his job. Unusual, because if I'm making sure everybody is fed, I'm doing stuff. But he wasn't feeling all that great, and he was sick.
Beverly?
Yeah, babe?
And then he comes in there like, I've done something.
What are you trying to do? You better tell me what to
associate, or he disassociated himself from the outside world. That's how I perceived it. It's like, okay, this is how you want to live, or this is how you want to be. That's on you, but we're not going to stay locked up in this house, I was not going to get up and turn off because I didn't know what that would do. I mean, he wasn't physically abusive with me, but I wasn't trying to get to that point. So I was just like, well, I'll just have to tune it out so that I could get some rest. You're so tired, you get poison.
Stop denying it. That's why you haven't eaten any of the stew.
Come on, the kids ate it too. Do you really think I would poison my own children?
Prove it.
What?
I said prove it.
He is like, well, I need you to eat it.
Eat a bowl right now.
Even try to explain anything, because I was just like, wow, what do I say? That was just that one time, and after that, looking to see what we're doing, acting strange. He never came out of the bedroom.
Mom, he's doing that thing again. He keeps staring at us.
But, he wasn't bothering anybody, and it didn't bother me, so I'm saying to myself, don't pay him any attention. That's just what he does.
He's just going through a rough patch. I think it's his nerves.
Can you tell him to stop?
We're not going to be isolated because you don't want to be bothered. I didn't think it was that serious. I just felt that this was something that our family was going through. He's acting strange, and more than one person is seeing it. But we're still trying to move forward to make it better. So, okay, I can handle this, and we can work through this noise. He did not turn it off. He left it on. It's that all night long. And I'm like, can you turn that off? I gotta go to work in the morning. I need to go to sleep. And I can't sleep very well with that noise on there. He just ignored all of that.
Reggie, you gonna turn the TV off? Reggie!
After he quit working, Reginald's behavior started to change. The kids' friends would come by and visit with them. He would disappear into our bedroom. But He would be peeping out at them and would stare at us and get it together. I would be getting ready, but that made me more on my toes of, okay, now I gotta beware that you might go in there and put something on the stove. I don't know what. It was actually, you have no choice but to go to sleep. You can sleep through anything. So I just kind of blocked it out and got my rest and would get up and go to work. In the middle of the night, I woke up to smelling smoke. So I got up to see, and it was inside the house in the kitchen area. So I went in there to see what was going on for bed. And Reggie was in there laying on the bed watching his television shows. He'd been doing that all day. And at a certain time of the evening, the TV would go off. They called it signed off. You'd get this snow or you get this Target picture on there making on. And I had a rag doll. It was an ornament that you hang on the wall. And he had laid it on the stove and turned on a very low flame and set the doll on fire. I don't think it had been on there very long. It was just on there long enough to cause smoke. I didn't any response as to why. So it's like beating a dead horse, so why keep asking the same question if you're not going to get an answer? I had to let it go. Reggie, what was the purpose of you doing that? And he just kind of looks at me and he just never answered that question.
What are you doing, Reggie? Reggie! Tell me something!
It was like talking to myself, so why continue the conversation? I know that Reggie believed in voodoo. I know that he felt like there were certain things that you could do, that you could put a spell on somebody. So this is when things started becoming strung up, like in a noose, by his neck, like it had been hung and had a hole in his heart. That was just devastating to me. I was just trying to make it through day by day. In my own mind, I guess I was thinking, what's gonna happen now? What's he gonna do tomorrow? Our youngest son, Nyarko's,
Reggie, you really don't look so well.
he still wasn't feeling any better. So I finally convinced him to go to emergency because I don't know what's going on. And he had appendicitis. They took him straight in and took him up, and they said he had half an hour to live. We're gonna do what we do on a daily basis. If you're content to sit in here, then that's what you do. He felt somebody out there was out to get him or trying to poison him. I had made this beef stew. Me not eating with them was not, had a little doll as a dog. And he slept with that dog. Well, I got up one morning, and as I go into the living room before I wake up the children, I see this doll. The doll was hanging up on the chandelier. I didn't know why it was up there. And my first thought was, oh, maybe they were playing, they got hung up there and they just didn't take it down. When we come in, he says, yes. They go in there, they talk to him. I don't go in there. They're in there for about maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and they're talking to him, what's going on. I don't really hear what he's saying to them. And then they tell me that they're leaving.
Easy, yeah, Chuck.
I sent the kids to their room and I called the police.
Wazulu. Wazulu.
This is the police. Please open the door.
You're not gonna do anything.
Ma'am, frankly, we can't do anything else.
And they said, no. I said, well, why aren't you taking him with you? And they said, well, he's coherent. He's answering our questions. Has he harmed you physically? I'm like, no.
He's no immediate threat to anyone.
But you heard him yourself.
I'm not sure if he's saying something or singing something or talking to himself or what's going on. And so at that point, I decided to call the police. Somebody needs to come in here and do something because I don't know what to do. Hospital and tried to talk to a psychiatrist to see what they could tell me. They told me I'd have to bring him in. I'm like, well, that's not happening because I can't get him to go anywhere. So I was between a rock and a hard place. But as I look closer, it was actually strung up like in a noose. And it had a hole in his heart. So I know the kids did not do that. So I take it down before the kids see it up there. I don't know what their reaction would be to it.
Reggie! Why would you put this up there?
I say to, as soon as they knock on the door, whatever he's chanting, saying, or whatever in the room, he stops doing that.
Hello?
They say, can it sounded like incantations or chantings. I don't want to say speaking in tongue, but I certainly didn't know what he was saying. A little, what's going on with you? Because all I had to do was take it off and put it under some water and it was under control.
Reggie, why would you put this on the stove? You could have burned down the whole house.
He was in bed when I woke up to the smoke. So he had gone in there, done that, and got back in bed. I'm like, you know, what is wrong with you? Why would you turn the stove on and we're all sleeping? Why would you do something like that?
Reggie, please answer me. I can't help you if you don't talk to me.
But I just never been disrespectful. They never even talked back to him.
What is going on, Reggie?
Nah, I'm not going back to bed because I can't trust him to not go back in there.
Why would you do this?
Okay, so now you're taking sides.
He just kept saying, he knows what he did. He knows what he did. And I said, well, clearly he doesn't.
I'll handle this.
I said, are you okay? And he goes, yeah. And I said, okay, well, just go lay back down. And he went back to bed.
Reggie, living room, now.
They've done nothing wrong.
I'm not taking sides, but this is unacceptable.
That boy got exactly what he had coming to him.
So I said, I don't know what he did or didn't do in your mind's eye, but I will tell you this.
I'm not playing games anymore. You understand?
He's my child. And if you ever put your hands on my son again like that, I will kill you.
Got it?
I said, if you think I'm kidding, try me. I never met anything in there talking crazy. I don't know what he's saying. Can't you take him out of here, take him to the hospital, take him somewhere? And they said no.
If he hurts you or any of your kids, certainly give us a call. But until then, this is the best we can do.
That was just devastating to me. I called the hospital.
You know who?
If he was having one of those paranoid episodes, I need to be on alert with him. I just didn't know what he would do next or what he could be capable of doing. At that point, just a watchful eye on everything. One day, I walk into the kitchen. The phone is off the wall. It's clearly broken. So I'm thinking, is the fact that I called the police upsetting to him?
Why would you do this?
And he said, I don't need people.
Off of me!
I woke up to a lot of commotion, and it was coming from the kids' room. I come into the hallway and I see them in the kids' room. And he was literally jumping on our oldest son. Listening in on any conversations or recording conversations.
Nobody is listening, Reggie. Why would anybody care about our phone calls?
I said, what people? What are you talking about? He thought the conversations on there were being recorded by somebody or listening to.
Who?
This.
I'm done.
You think you're done, Reggie? This is over.
I told Reggie that I'm getting a divorce. I can't do this anymore. We already have a place, so you're the one that needs to go. Here's some money for you, traveling money. Go as far as it'll take you. Bye. And he didn't leave. He never went anywhere. And I told the kids, I said, okay, from now on, when you go to school, do not.
Reggie!
He was beating on our oldest son.
Reggie!
And I'm trying to pull him off of him.
Reggie, what has gotten into you?
Don't try and stand up for him.
When I got him to at least stop beating on him, I said, what did he do that's so bad? He knows what he did. He knows what he did.
Will you relax?
Don't tell me what to do. I can handle myself.
I said, sweetie, what is your doing so much in my life? He used to kind of help them with their homework and stuff.
Hey, why is that one blank?
Having study sessions at the dining room table, and I just go around the table, who needs help with what? Senior smacked me.
Mom, are you okay? Get off of him! Stop!
And the next thing I know, Reginald Jr. was on top of Reginald Sr.
It's not worth it. Get off of him!
And then Vaughn. All they were trying to do was wrestle him down to keep him from hitting anybody. Daddy talking about, what did you do? He said, Mama, I don't know.
That boy's gonna get exactly what's coming to him. You hear me?
Yeah?
Exactly.
Well, you better step back or you're gonna get some too.
He's wondering what the heck is going on.
Baby, why did he hit you?
I didn't do anything. Liar! I did it!
After everything was over, all I could, hear my husband say was, you're dead meat, y'all dead meat, you're dead meat.
You shouldn't have done that.
That's the final straw. I'm done with it. Him jumping on the kids like that, I'm not having this. I'm not subjecting them to this. They didn't do anything to deserve any of it. At that point, things had kind of calmed down. We hadn't had any other incidents. When I left work, I was going to go do something else, and I don't remember what that was. But in a voice, go home. This voice, go home, go home. And so that's what I did. I went home. We had a little dog, Cotton, and he didn't come to the door. The house was quiet. There was some music on, but it was... I said, hey, sleepyheads, y'all need to get up. It's in the afternoon. You done slept all day. What's up? Nobody was responding. So then I go in the room. And Reggie Jr.'s arm is up like this, you know, and I'm looking. And then I looked up, and then I saw Vaughn had a bullet hole in his head. I think everything was surreal then. I turned around and I looked at the articles. I pulled the covers back and I saw his brains everywhere. And I'm like, he's got to be here somewhere. And I just told the police, I'll be standing in the middle of the street. I got to get out of here because I don't know where he is and I could be next. I told him my husband killed my children. Really, really low. I thought, well, maybe Reggie was listening to it, but didn't hear him, didn't see him. He wasn't anywhere in the house. So I decided that I needed to check on the kids and see what they're doing and get them something to eat. Well, their door to the bedroom was closed. So I opened the door. You know, I saw one in the bed. I said, oh, them sleepyheads, they're still in the bed.
Boys, come on now with the games.
So, I'm sorry, I gotta let it.
Hello?
I called the police. I told him who I was. Reginald said something to Vaughn, and Vaughn said something back to him.
What did you say to me?
I said...
And he smacked him. Reggie smacked Vaughn. He smacked him in the face.
Stop! You get off of him!
I jumped up and I went and got in between them, trying to pull them apart.
Get off of him!
And then, in doing so, Reginald's come home till you know that I'm home from work because I can't protect you if I'm not here. I do know that in my mind, I felt like, okay, once I get this divorce, you definitely have to go because you can't stay here. The divorce papers were delivered, but I didn't know that they were delivered. He never said anything to me. I think he thought that I was not going to do that. Nothing bad, but he was always doing something. It makes me sad to think about them and that I can't hold them. It's very, very painful. And it's something that you never get over. I just lost it. I'm not gonna make it. Get up and walk away. You know, this is a movie. This can't be happening. I'm back and he was in Utah. I don't know where he was going. They told me that he had 2 baggage claim tickets, but he was only claiming 1 suitcase. He did not indicate that there was another bag that had been checked under the bus, and that's where the gun was.
I want to see him.
He claims to this day that he didn't do it, but who else? Who else would? Who else would have a reason to?
Is that correct, ma'am?
He's sitting there, I'm looking at him,
Ma'am.
that I'm answering questions.
Yes, that's correct.
But the whole time I was looking at him, I was just thinking, can I reach him? Can I get to him before they get to me? You know, how? I didn't know where he was. He had a gun and probably still had it. So if he could get close enough in the proximity of where I am, I could be next. My now brother-in-law sat there with a shotgun, literally, across his knees until they found Reggie. And that's when I saw the bullet hole in his head. I heard somebody scream, but I don't know who it was. But in actuality, it was me. Somebody knocks on the door saying, "It's the police, can we come in?" He had been captured and they were bringing him. I told him my address. I told him my husband killed my children. He said, help. I just was like frozen. And then from frozen to disbelief to, oh, where's Reggie? That was my thought. He was the shy one. He was always keeping his hair so neat and thin. It didn't take but a little bit of wind and it would be all over the place. This is my mischievous one. This is Niarchos. And you can tell by that smile, you never know what he's thinking. He didn't do anything. And I don't know where he is. And everything else is pretty much a blur. I never went back into the house. A whole bunch of things was going through my head, but mostly disbelief. It's not my boys. This happens to other people, doesn't happen to you. They're gonna get, how far away is he really? You know, how much damage can I do if I do get to him? Will it be enough to end his life? Give me the opportunity to get to him for 2 seconds. That's all I need is 2 seconds. And we won't have to have a trial. We won't have to have any. We took our seats and we just kind of held each other's hand, you know, and just sat there and waited. The warden did ask him, did he have any last word through the last 36 years. But I don't think he ever cried enough. These are the headstones. I wanted Niarchos in the middle so his brothers could protect him. This is a picture of Reggie Jr., very studious. He's very kind-hearted. He'd help anybody with anything. He had this little crooked smile, you know, which let me know that you're up to something you're not supposed to be doing, but you don't want me to know what it is. This is Vaughn, my second oldest. So anyone that you care about or love, tell them as often as you think about it that you love them. Give them a hug. Never take for granted that they're always going to be here. because that's not true. And you don't get the chance to hurt anybody else ever again. And hopefully you'll rest in hell. When it was very, very raw, I was very, very angry. And so I lashed out, at people that really didn't deserve it. I had to learn how to stop doing that. I did meet someone, and I'm willing to go to jail for that because I have nothing to live for. When I heard that he had been found guilty and was sentenced to death, I had a sense of relief that I would have justice. This is the shirt that I had on. We wore it in hopes that if Reggie would see us, he would see these shirts and he would know that we were there supporting for my boys. That justice was finally being done for these boys. That was the longest 10 minutes of my life. And then it was over. Finally, you get to know what it feels like not to draw another breath. And he said no. But one of the last gestures that he made was to stick up both middle fingers. And that was his message. And made a very hard, conscious effort to make sure that they remained up throughout the whole ordeal. So we just kind of just sat there and, trying to stay composed. The inscription on there is, always on our minds, forever in our hearts. My babies. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I wouldn't want anybody to go through what I've gone through. I never thought I would. I met him the same year that I lost my children, and then I started dating him the year after. We were together 34 years before he passed. He had 3 children, 3 boys. And these boys are still in my life today. So that in itself